6.9 News. Happy Thursday, everyone. And this isn't any normal Thursday now, is it, Miranda? I know, it's not, Marjorie. Oh, that's right. In addition to being December 1st, it is also National AIDS Day. In fact, we have several news stories for you as HIV/AIDS awareness. Did you know that 34 million people worldwide are living with HIV/AIDS? I did not. That's crazy. And 1.4 of those are in Europe and Central Asia. Wow, that's a lot of people. Our first story is about one of those 1.4 million, a 16-year-old girl who has just come to terms with her disease. Now, to Chlorine Cha-Cha in Moscow with the full story.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Chlorine Cha-Cha, and today I'm in Moscow, Russia, with 16-year-old Nika, who's recently come to terms with her HIV. What did you do when you first found out that you had HIV?
Well, I went to the doctor and they told me I was HIV positive. So then I kind of had to get over the fact that I would die in almost 2 years. So I kind of kept it all inside.
But how did you come to terms with your HIV?
I cried a lot.
So, I heard you had a boyfriend. What happened with him?
I didn't tell him I had HIV/AIDS, and then he went to get tested and he was positive, and he told me, and then I told him that I gave it nobody but me.
In case you didn't catch that, Nika is still unsure how she caught HIV. It could have been from unprotected sex or from IDUs, injected drug use. When Nika's boyfriend tested HIV positive, Nika confessed and he left her.
Wow, Nika sure has had a rough life.
Yeah, and now that she's HIV positive, it's about to get even rougher.
I'm Renard Muldoon, here with 6.9 News. I'm in London with 23-year-old Bobby. How are you, Bobby?
Good.
Can you tell us your story about how you got HIV?
Well, I was 16 and I was selling my body to men for drugs. I was in a bad place at a bad time.
Do you know who gave you HIV?
I'm unaware of that stuff.
How are you coping with the fact that you have HIV, one of the deadliest viruses in the world?
Well, I'm still pretty sad about it, but me and my partner are getting through it. He also has AIDS.
Europe is not the worst place for HIV.
Since antiretroviral treatment has been available in the UK, it has had a profound impact on the lives of those living with HIV and AIDS. The number of people dying from AIDS has dramatically decreased. However, despite the introduction of antiretroviral treatment, there are still people dying from AIDS-related illnesses in the UK. In 2010, 2/3 of the deaths among people living with HIV were among those diagnosed too late, at a stage when antiretroviral treatment is less likely to work.
Everywhere, people are having unprotected sex and are injecting drugs with unclean needles. Even though Europe isn't the worst place, we need to get rid of this disease everywhere.
Thank you, Bobby, for that powerful story. Now to the border of Czech Republic and Germany,
Where prostitution is a major problem. Because the Roman Catholic bishop is trying to legalize it, it's becoming even worse. Prostitution in Prague is very dangerous, and it gets even worse towards the border of Germany. Many people say that legalizing prostitution would be very unethical, but the bishop argues that it will save the economic structure. And now to Renard Muldoon with the full story.
I'm Renard Muldoon, here in Czech Republic, with our guest, Shavante. How are you, Shavante?
Good.
Here in Czech Republic, the Roman Catholic Church is trying to legalize prostitution. The priest reasons that sex and slave trade is infiltrating in the country, and many women are being kidnapped and forced to be prostitutes. Can you tell us your story, Shavante?
Well, I was walking home one day and then these men came up and knocked me out and then threw me in the back of their van. And when I woke up, I was in a room with a bunch of other women. Then when they finally released me, I went to the doctor and got tested and I was HIV positive.
Many of the prostitutes here acquire HIV and AIDS because they have unprotected sex. What are your living conditions where you live with the other prostitutes?
Well, they're pretty bad. I have to manage 4 kids. And my pimp daddy's mean to me. He takes all my money. So I don't get a lot of money.
Are your living conditions very sanitary?
No.
Also, here, there are 15 to 20 babies yearly are left out on the street to die because their mothers cannot afford to keep them. Many of these children have HIV/AIDS and die very quickly. It is so sad to hear that so many women are abandoning their babies because they cannot afford to keep them.
And we'll be right back after this short break.
Help those living with HIV/AIDS. Donate to a local foundation near you. AIDS is one of the most deadliest viruses in the world. Protect yourself from HIV/AIDS.
Hello and welcome to 6.9 News. Next we have a story about breaking news.
A 9-year-old girl in Spain dies from HIV from a blood transfusion. Cloying Cha-Cha, the full story. In Spain.
Breaking news! A little girl named Ponte recently died of HIV. She lives in Spain, and now we're going to her mother's house to interview her about her daughter's death, Mrs. Monte.
Hello, Mrs. Monte.
Hello. So I'm Chloe Cha-Cha from 6.9 News, and I'm here to interview you about your daughter's death.
My what?
Your daughter. Her death.
What?
She's dead.
No.
I'm sorry to break it to you. But anywho, how did she get HIV?
She had a bad kidney, so we needed blood transplant, but the blood was bad.
What do you mean by bad?
It had HIV. No good. Bad.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Many people suffer from HIV from blood transplants because accidentally someone gives blood and they don't know they have HIV. So, back to you, dynamic duo.
As you can see, not many people in need of treatment receive it.
Surprisingly, out of all the people who need treatment, only 23% of them actually receive it.
It's so expensive that usually only the wealthy can afford it.
And that's all for tonight's broadcast. Thank you so much for watching.
We'll see you next time on
6.9
News.
All of the lights.
Hello and welcome to 6.9 News. Oh God. Why doesn't spin? Hello and welcome to 6.9 News. Happy Thursday.
And it's not a normal Thursday, is it? Wow, Nika has had a tough life.
Yeah, she has. And now that she's HIV positive, it's about to get even rougher.
Action!
You dumb rat.
Oh, hello.
What am I supposed to go? Nika, how...
Well, when I first discovered that I had HIV/AIDS, they told me I would die in 2 days, 2 years.
What's the difference? Thank you.
You're chlorine.
What did you do when you first found out you had AIDS? HIV.
One or the other, buddy. Take care of him.
With 16-year-old Nika, who has recently come to terms with her HIV.
Yes.
Nika!
That's what they call me.
Yes. How did your daughter die?
What?
Your daughter is dead.
Crazy talk.
Your daughter is
Crazy
dead.
talk. My daughter's what?
Dead.
Seriously?
Yes.
Is super serial right now?
Yes.
Well, how do you know this?
Because we got information from
Who?
the hospital.
Hospital.
Breaking news. We just found out that a little girl recently died of HIV.
In case you didn't catch that,
We'll be back after the break with a story about a young girl who got raped.
Breaking news.
I'm here in London with 23-year-old Bobby. Bobby, I heard that you recently got HIV/AIDS. It's been 6 years.
Ivy, we're now going to her mother's house in Spain. Spainland.
Back to you, dynamic duo.
How did your daughter die? What did she die
What?
from?
Who died?
Your daughter.
My daughter what?
Died.
What about her?
She's dead.
Are you serious?
I'm super serious. She's dead. How did your daughter get HIV/AIDS?
My daughter what?
Hello, Mrs. Monte. I'm Chloe Chacha from 6.9 News.
Hi.
How did your daughter die?
My daughter's dead?
Yes, she's dead.
No.
She is. Well, then where is she?
Dead.
I've been here. Hi, Mrs. Monte.
Hello.
I'm Chloe Chacha.
Get out of my house, you London kids! Out! Of my house! Faster! No more marijuana! Out!
Touch me, Matt.
Oh, Jimmy!
Jimmy?
Jimmy!